Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have an actor, a martial arts, a athlete, a bodybuilder, a man that has done, has living his dream, and he's got a movie out called Straight Outta Compton, just released this weekend, I think, right? It's my pleasure to have Marcus Taylor. I'm so glad you came by, and I'm so glad that James Wilson called me yesterday and said, you got to talk to him. I said, fine. Because I had Dawn on too, and you know I've had all these guys.
Yeah.
So we were talking, you and I, and we were talking about your dream as a kid of being Superman.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to be Rocky Jones Space Ranger and jump off roofs until I jumped off roof and hurt my legs.
That's good.
So, I know, right? So, what a silly thought that was.
No, hey, we all have. Hey, well, that's another story I can tell you. I had my Superman. I would go everywhere, even to church with my Superman outfit.
Yeah.
Of course, my mother sometimes like, you're not taking it.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to. So, and then once I would spend the night with my cousins out on the weekends, and there was one time where I was in Miller Street with my Superman outfit on.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to stop the truck. There was this truck coming.
Yeah.
And I really didn't move. And my cousin, Shalette, she grabbed me. She said, "What are you, crazy? I'm Superman." And she says, "You ain't Superman. You're a little boy." Oh, that hurt. So.
Can you imagine if you would have stopped it?
Yeah, right. But that didn't work out. So I think martial arts was the next best thing.
Did you get into bodybuilding too?
Well, I trained as a bodybuilder. I knew bodybuilders.
Yeah.
I studied it since I was, which is, people thought I was kind of crazy since I was 5. I just liked the muscles and I mean, they look like superheroes.
Sure, of course.
And Arnold and Lou Ferrigno and Lee Haney's my favorite.
Yeah.
Corey Everson, Carla Dunlap. I mean, wow.
You're talking about my era.
Well, that's the era I love the most, actually.
Yeah, I do too.
Because you guys were, perfect. You guys were superheroes.
But today's world's changed quite a bit.
Yeah, they're beasting out a little bit.
It's almost overdone, and the women are for sure overdone.
A little bit.
It's just not what I don't really care for. But
Yeah.
We know the world changes around us, and we have to go with the world, and so we do what we do.
Right.
The martial arts, you have a lot of titles.
Yeah. I guess I was an overachiever in that because I loved that the most, and basically, my parents didn't know what I was doing.
You just did it?
I would say I'm going to, a tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I would come back with like trophies. Where did you get that from? I did a tournament. She's like, "Oh, that's nice. Wow." And then
I don't think they really know. I told you my father passed away and he got me into wrestling, but my mom, my grandma, lived with me, and so I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like 18, 19, 20 and about that time, and I was wrestling at night, and they didn't want to know about it. They just, no, this is not for you. This is something you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And so I said, look, I'm on TV tonight. We're not going to watch. So I did it, and I came back, and it aired later, so they watched with me. They could see I wasn't hurt.
Right.
So only one night they came to a live show, my mom, and I got thrown out of the ring, and I hit the steps and cut my leg open, and she said, I'm never going back. That's it. But it happens.
Yeah, no, it happens. My mother didn't know I was my whole family didn't know I was a professional fighter until 2005.
Really?
So because when I fought once in 93, and they were late, and I said after that I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go do it my own way. Just do it.
Yeah,
and nobody knew. And when people found out, it was because their friends said, your cousin or your nephew is on MSG or Atlantic City. I saw him fight. He knocked this dude out with a kick right there. And I was like, and then they come back and was like, why you ain't say nothing? Why did you ask? That's stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
And I just love martial arts. I am martial arts. When you do it your whole life, you become what you.
It is.
It is.
It becomes your passion. It becomes you. I can't imagine life without. I can't imagine life without a gym. Going every morning, first thing, and it's the part of our day, and it's what we do. Without that, you feel so empty.
Yeah.
And plus, you meet good people.
Yeah.
You've met a lot of good people.
I met some of my really greatest friends were my 2 training partners. We called him Big O because he just had no neck. It was just head and shoulder. He was just that big. And my friend Jamie. They were all ex-military guys, and you know, they first time they see me, it's like when I was like very, ripped and I had hair and I was good looking and
Yeah.
stuff, it was like, who's this chump? And I said, why don't you work out with me and find out?
Yeah, sure.
Then they, threw up. Oh,
I've done the same thing.
yeah. And
At my age, I mean, 20-year-olds come and train with me, 6, 7 of them. And I was married at the time. Every one of the guys threw up.
Yeah.
I train hard.
I know that's what I'm saying. It's like you gotta respect the people that came before you, because if you don't, who are you?
Yeah.
And I know what I am. I'm trying to be like actually half as good as gentlemen like yourself and all these other people I've looked up to, and I think that's why I guess I'm getting jobs or opportunities.
Yeah. Well, you make your way.
Oh, I have no choice.
You do. You manifest your luck. I was telling my girlfriend that today that I have a lot of good luck. Things just come my way.
Mhm.
And she says, "No, you've worked for them." I said, "Yes, I've worked for them, but my mom even said, you could trip over a brick and fall in a pot of money."
Yeah.
And
That's
I
good.
kind of do.
That's good. No, that's great.
Although one time, just 6 months ago, I tripped on the curb out here, and I have a really bad shoulder. I fell on my shoulder. Hit it really hard, and I got up, and on the back of my shirt was a little dog crap I fell in. So that wasn't a good day for me.
Yeah, you're good.
This happens, Oh, my
Yeah,
life went to the dogs today.
Oh man.
So with the martial arts, you did bodyguard work.
Yes, I was a bodyguard for when I started. I was 1997. 21. Friend of mine, Big Maurice, Big Mo, we called him. We went to college together, Kane University in New Jersey. And he said, "You want to work at the Roxy in New York?" Sure.
Yeah.
All right. We got a detail. All right. That's how he talked. But he was like huge.
Yeah.
He talked like this.
His voice doesn't come in yet.
Yeah. And it was fun. And of course, I was small. I was like the smaller one at the time.
Yeah.
I was an obese kid, and then I lost it because I was obsessed with lifting. I started lifting when I was 5.
I saw pictures.
Yeah, and it was just like,
You had some transitions going on there.
oh yeah, I get a lot of those. But for that period of time, I probably stayed around between 215 and 240, something like that. But it was I lived in the gym.
That's actually a pretty good weight. How tall are you?
6'3".
Yeah, that's a good weight for you.
Yeah, and it's like lifting weights, man. It was the greatest. You feel like euphoric because all that tension, or wherever you felt tension, you go to the gym. Your boys are there, and it's like, hey, it's time to go. And we talk about our wives or their ex-wives,
Yeah.
or things that happen.
Sure.
Like, and it was just like it's therapy.
It's therapy.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, I had a couple of instances where I had torn both my quads wrestling, and I was in a wheelchair on leg braces. And my biggest thing was I can't get to the gym.
Yeah.
So you're not going to go to the gym for the next 2 months. I said, nah, I'm going to the gym. And they were the leg braces that have Velcro on them, so I could loosen them for the shower. And I had a big car at the time. I guess it was about 5 days into it. I got in my car and I threw my walker and I drove down to Gold's and I got out and I worked out. Upper body every day.
Yeah.
Mentally, it makes your body heal quicker.
Yes.
I cut these fingers off. There were 3 of them. They sewed these on. And my first thought, when my son came out to help me with the fingers, was, oh man, how am I going to work out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Isn't that stupid? But it's
I did everything around my workout schedule.
Yeah.
Like it was like, okay, 2 to 5 I work out, and then I was a personal trainer too, so it was like 5 to 10, and then wake up again, 4 to 5. It was just like, it was a routine.
We find a way, and I actually was in the gym the next day with pins holding his fingers on, and I found a way with straps. But it's, people give you excuses. I just don't have time to get to the gym, I work all day. You can find time. You can go 4 or 5 in the morning, you go late at night. If you really want to do it, you can do it.
And that was I have a story about that.
Tell me.
I fought about 3 years ago at Madison Square Garden. I lost the fight because I cut 20 pounds the day before the weigh-in.
Oh boy.
And you don't do that. No. You don't do that. And all I remember is every time I hit the dude, he just kept turning. But then I don't remember anything else. Like the oxygen just blocked my and I was like, severely dehydrated.
Yeah.
And I was in Bellevue.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh wow, okay, where am I? I mean, it was just, so but then I really got into the stunt acting thing, and what happened was that consumed me, but I lost myself as far as being I lost the fun of myself. And my wife would say, "You're losing yourself," because I didn't do martial arts. I didn't lift weights.
Yeah.
And and I would gain weight. I mean, all these pains everywhere. I got arthritis from my toes to my hips from fighting. But it was just, I felt like, yeah, my superpowers were going. And
Yeah,
it felt
it's a
like
horrible feeling.
I cried like a baby.
Arthritis, I have it everywhere. It's,
Yeah.
I take what I can for it.
Yeah.
It's your medicine. Working out and going to the gym and doing your athletics, it's medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize that I used to get growing up. How do you do that every day? You're going to turn to fat when you're 30. Well, I'm 71 now. I haven't turned to fat yet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and a day without it, I feel lousy. I got to get to the gym.
That's the thing.
This is the therapy, you know.
Yeah, it's therapy for the spirit as well as the body. When my father passed away, I went to the gym. After the funeral, I went straight to the gym, and people were angry with me because that was my way to mourn. Because if
I did the same thing exactly.
If I didn't, I don't know what I would have.
He's the one that wanted me to, so I did what I was asked. You know?
Yeah.
My mom too. She lived till 97. If you imagine, that, 2 years back, and I took care of everything. And she said, "You know what? Just do what you do, but always keep your sense of humor and your smile, because that's what you have that gives to other people, and you'll always be happy." And it's true. And she says, "And your gym is your life. Don't give it up because of me, because I'm not here. I'm with you anyway."
Yeah.
You know.
That's not for my father. I mean, he's with me here, but I have this. It says, "Don't let anybody break your spirit." And he would tell me that every day.
That's right.
And after he passed away, the fear, whatever I had, fear left.
Right.
But I was working out at the time, and then I guess when I was pursuing this dream I'm having, I kind of lost track and thought about, try to get there too fast instead of going step by step.
Yeah, it'll come in its own speed.
And that's what I'm thinking now, and I gained, like, altogether about 70 pounds for the SUGE room.
Yeah.
Because we were there from August to October, and I gained 40 pounds in like 3 weeks.
Really, I want to talk about that, but I have one more question.
Oh yeah,
first.
sure.
Okay, so martial arts, you got some stunt work.
Oh yeah, I did there was a fight, and I did a 360 and knocked the guy out cold, and he was out for like 2 days. And one of the judges was a coordinator, and he hooked me up with another coordinator, and I got my SAG card.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, SAG, and I mean, I can pretty much do a lot of stuff, because when you train, and with the weights and the training, you can do things that
Exactly.
That's why I thought I was Superman.
This is what happened with wrestling. They call me, Gene LaBelle would call me in on certain stunts for wrestling, which I would do. And then sometimes they call you in, and that stunt job means nothing more than just taking a bump on the ground.
Right.
Which is fine. It's a day's pay and it's residuals.
Yeah, exactly.
So you do what you got to do, and it's not always what you think it's going to be. You're not jumping off buildings like some guys.
Yeah.
They're specialties,
Yeah.
You do what your specialty is. So you got into acting from that?
Well, my whole point was to do acting, but action.
Okay.
I love action.
Okay.
I want to, work with The Rock. I want to work with Stone Cold. That would be an honor.
Yeah.
I just want to work with those guys and just do what I love. I mean, I can still do backflips and.
Well, Stone Cold watches my show, so he's going to hear you say that.
That's the bottom line. You said I said so.
He's going to hear you say that.
It'll be an honor, sir.
Yeah. It's a fun business, and people say, "Oh, I just want to make money," and it's not about the money. The money comes. None of this is about the money. None of the bodybuilding, none of the wrestling, none of the things we do. We do it for a passion, and it's gratifying, and it helps other people and motivates other people to do things, and they learn from you. You always have those out there that want to give you a hard time. Young guys, I don't want to listen, but they eventually listen.
Yeah, they eventually do.
Yeah, but the money is a reward for everything you put your time in, and it's like, okay, that's nice. You get paid for it. So what was your first film?
What was my first?
It wasn't that long ago, Marcus.
I know. Maybe I got hit in the head too much from fighting. Just give me a moment. I know it's with Colin Farrell. And
Was it recently?
This was, I think, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Well, IMDb it. But this one, now you've got this film out, Straight Outta Compton. And everybody's taking that logo and that phrase, and they're applying it to their own life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You see it everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, even in Russia now.
This is good for the film, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great for the film.
So how did you manage to get that role?
Wow.
Just hang out in Compton?
No. And you know what's funny? No, but what happened was I was always, broke, and I'm that guy that just when the storm comes, people run away. I run to it.
Yeah.
And my wife is like my strength, my rock, and I'm a Christian. I'm not a religious man. I'm a Christian man that's in relationship with God. So I prayed to God and I said, I want to do it's time. I'm not afraid, and so I'm going with her. So just be with me because I'm going, and I just went on faith. I took a plane to LA and went to audition. But while I was auditioning, I was still hustling for stunts,
Right.
and I got to work for Sons of Anarchy and some other shows.
Oh, that's great.
LA.
Shows.
Yeah, that kind of helped me too. And yeah, Eric Norris is what a great guy. I want to meet his dad too, but he's just like a super cool dude.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, Jeff Wolf,
I know Jeff real well.
He's
and Chuck Norris too. He used to work out with us in the '80s back in Northridge Golds.
Yeah,
and Bob and Bob Wall and all those guys.
I would probably give my pinky just to meet these men.
I remember when Jeff started. I used to send him coffee every day.
Wow.
He said, I got a job. And now he's working all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big-time stunt coordinator, and he's working on Rush Hour, the series. And with his success, he just is the nice. He doesn't care who.
No.
I was just nobody, and he would just like, hey, okay, do this, do that.
No, he's cool.
And he's the second person I told other than my wife. I'm sorry, third person I told. I'm auditioning for, SUGE KNIGHT, and he gave me a hug. Because usually sometimes people have different opinions of what a stuntman should be.
Right.
And my opinions didn't agree.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to do action. And I mean acting with stunts.
Right.
That was my whole plan.
No, I get it.
And sometimes I just be quiet. But I told him because he just has that nice spirit and you could talk to him.
Yeah.
And he would just say, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of you. And he says, man, you just go ahead and don't let nobody change you. That's
no, you got to go for what you want. How did you come about this character SUGE KNIGHT in Straight Outta Compton?
Well, when I was there, I said, you know what? I'm gonna be him. I'm gonna study him.
That's what I was asking.
So when I was in LA, that was like a 2-month process of the audition. So the whole time I was just copying him. The way he moved, the way he walked, the way he turned his head, the way he would talk, where he would answer questions. Not now, but when he was when it had all that stuff happened.
Right.
And I'm a pretty good mimic. I can do like things like that, and I just became him. And
you gained weight?
Yeah, I gained 40 pounds for that.
How'd you do that?
Oh, IHOP, Fuddruckers. Pizza Hut.
Yeah, you're lucky. I can't gain weight like that. I can't eat like that. It's just too hard.
I can't either. It's too
hard.
I can say it now. I got kidney stones when I got hired. I got kidney stones because the director, Mr. Gray, he said, "Can you eat for money?" Yeah. And he said, "I want you," because he didn't want the fat. So he's like, "I really need you to do that." So I had kidney stones. And high blood pressure. My blood pressure was like 184 over 118.
Boy.
I didn't say anything, of course, because I don't. I'm old school. I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to complain.
Yeah. So in the weight, actually, I started losing weight. Then I lost 20 pounds, right in between, and he was just getting so mad. You're visibly losing weight, and so they put a fat suit for the rest of the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and then when I got back home, I slept for like a month because everything was just like, oh God. And I ate like a pig, and I put those 20 pounds on, and then I was like, okay, let me work out, get back in shape. And as soon as I was starting, he gave me a call and says, I need you to put some weight back on because we got to do reshoots and all this. And
you got to match the shots.
Yeah. So I did. So I gained like 30 pounds.
So this movie's been out how long now?
It just opened yesterday.
Okay, so it's been out one day.
Yeah, one day.
There's a lot of good reviews.
Yeah, I think it made 50 million.
That's what I
This
heard.
last night or yeah.
Good storyline.
Oh yeah, it was that whole yeah. It was a great experience, and it making of the film. I'm trying to keep it short. Making of the film, I felt great. I felt like I was in a room full of. It was everybody, all creeds and colors, guys just wanting to make this film good.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about that, because that's, sometimes people want to, separate, and I don't believe in that.
No, but they shot part of that because I was at Gold's in North Hollywood.
Right. Yeah.
And on Laurel Canyon, they took an old shoe store, knocked the windows out, and put it look like it was on fire.
Yeah. They did that. Honestly, I was living over there on Whitsett.
Yeah.
And I walked up there, and I'm like,
it looked great.
No, I thought this was really happening.
Yeah.
And the thing was, and somebody said, "Suge," and I'm like, I'm trying to hide over there, and he had blue on, but it turned out it was a PA.
Oh.
And he was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh Lord," I felt so embarrassed. I'm like, I thought it was real.
Yeah, it looked real.
So
3 days later, had it all back and painted and put away, and nobody knew anything happened there.
Yeah, and that was just visiting, because I wasn't there on that particular week. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
Tell me about Martial Arts Kid.
Oh, I take my hat off for this.
Okay.
That was the best time of my life. I met my kickboxing hero, my favorite kickboxer, my favorite female action star.
Yeah. Cynthia?
Yeah.
Doesn't she look great?
Man, I'm afraid of her.
She got better with age.
Yeah, man. And I mean, she hits hard. She kicks hard. And
that's what Don was telling me. He says she just lays those potatoes, punches in him, and it's hurts
yeah,
bad.
Yeah, and Don can, man, he can kick somebody's tail right now.
Yeah.
I put money on him. He can beat anybody in MMA in his weight class.
He can, but he said that she just hits too hard.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was, he was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do it close. Sometimes I just babble. But what happened was, on Facebook, I just said, I'm such a fan. I remember, watching you fight NBC and all the movies, definitely. And I would quote it. And then I said, can I buy a fat burger if I am ever in LA? He said, sure. So I called him, and he came. And then when I saw him, I just bowed to him. I got on my knees and bowed to him out of respect. And then he was just like, get up, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
Yeah. And we
so down to earth.
Yeah, I mean, it was such down to earth, and we talked for 8 hours there. So it was just awesome. And then he says, I'm going to get you in the movie. And he kept his word.
Oh, no, he'll keep his word for sure.
And him and his brother.
His brother James is awesome.
I mean,
what a nice guy.
That's my big bro.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, he's my big brother. I love him very much. The Dragon family has become my family. They are my family.
Yeah.
They've helped me when nobody thought I could. They were else.
It's funny, when I told him, I said, I get a lot of guests on my show, but you have anybody to recommend, call me. James calls me, Don has called me. They've recommended people. They don't ever forget. They follow through, and it's really nice stuff. Yeah. So I want to remind all of you to go see Straight Outta Compton, so you can see Marcus in this movie, because I heard it's really good. His character's really good, and he's a straight up guy. I mean, I'm really glad you came over to do this.
It's my honor, sir.
Where can people find you on the internet if they want to send you a little note, or will they find you over at Fat Burgers? Or
not right now. No, not right now. I'm trying to get this weight off.
Yeah.
Big Action Guy, all one word, on Twitter, and Big Action Guy on Instagram.
Okay, and Facebook?
R. Marcos Taylor.
Okay.
And that's where you can find me at, and I'm still on there all the time. I'm not changing.
No, you're not going to change. You got to stay in touch with your friends and fans and all. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I get a lot of mail from these shows. I answer every one of them. They have questions. You're human beings out there. You have a question. They want an answer. Give them an answer.
That's what I wanted, and that's what I got. know, and I'm the same way.
You can't ignore people. That's what put you where you are. Well, it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's really made
awesome.
my day. And
Amen.
I'm going to air this, and everybody's going to see you, and we're going to have a nice time.
Hopefully I come back.
You can go back.
Thanks.
Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner. Thank you, Marcus, for being here, and stay tuned. I got more coming for you next week. See you that time.
drasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.